Grassroots Drifting Dad. Noise. Week 1, Sim Racing. So this was my first week learning to drift on this sim racer setup. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Grassroots Drifting Dad. This was my very first week learning how to drift on a sim racing setup, and I figured instead of pretending I know what I'm doing, I'd share everything I've learned so far. Hopefully it'll save another beginner a lot of frustration. When I first started, I thought I'd just jump into Assetto Corsa and start throwing the car sideways. Yeah, that didn't happen. The biggest lesson I've learned right away was that not every car is beginner friendly. I spent a lot of time trying to drift different cars before finally setting on the BMW Drift Edition. It's the black one with the graffiti on the bottom. You can change the color, whatever, it's irrelevant. For whatever reason, that car just felt easier to control. It gave me confidence instead of making me feel like I was constantly spinning out. The second thing I learned had nothing to do with driving, but very important. If you're on an Xbox Series S like I am, don't make the same mistake I did. I kept trying to drift in modes that restarted me every time I messed up. That gets frustrating real fast. Once I found a drift-friendly practice mode where I could drive without constantly being reset, everything changed. From what I've learned, that's mainly an Xbox limitation. PC players have a lot more options for practice. Then I started paying attention to my entry speeds. For me, entering the corner at about 35 to 45 miles an hour in second gear seemed to be the sweet spot. If I came in too fast, I'd spin too slow and I couldn't drift the car. Now, I'm sure those numbers will change as I improve, but as a complete beginner, they gave me a good starting point. Another mistake I was making was trying to learn everything at once. I was trying to steer, use the clutch, shift gears, pull the handbrake, control the throttle, and somehow drift all at the same time. That was way too much for Nick's brain. So I simplified everything. Right now, I'm mainly focusing on the steering wheel, throttle, braking when needed, and using the clutch. I'm not worried about fancy handbrake entries or aggressive shifting yet. One skill at a time for me. Probably the biggest lesson from this, well, I'll say for this week, is that I don't need to drift an entire track. I only need one corner. Instead of trying to link every turn together, I've started picking one corner and practicing that same corner over and over and over. If I can constantly control the car throughout one turn, then I can move on to the next. Before I ever try linking corners, I need to know exactly where every corner of my car is. Where's the front bumper? Where's the rear bumper? How close am I to the inside? How close am I to the outside wall? If I can't picture where the car is, I have no business trying to link multiple turns. Another thing I realized is that setups matter. My steering wheel is mounted too low. If I move the pedals where they feel comfortable, my knees hit the bottom of the wheel. And that's not exactly ideal if you're trying to learn precision driving. My shifter is also mounted too far forward. It's not realistic where a shifter sits. That's training bad habits. It works, but it doesn't feel like sitting in an actual drift car. Those are things I'll be changing as I keep improving the cockpit. One more thing. This Amazon seat that I got will suffice to get you started, but the seat hurts my back after long practice sessions. I'll definitely be adding some lumbar support because if I'm going to keep spending hours learning this skill, I need to stay comfortable enough to keep practicing. Another goal I have is improving how I review my driving. Right now, I can watch the gameplay, but I can't see my feet and what they're doing. Eventually, I want a camera setup that records the screen, my steering wheel, and my pedals all at the same time. That way I can send videos to experienced drivers and get real coaching on my inputs instead of just guessing and trying to do it by myself. Speaking of coaching, I also joined the Drifting Discord community. There are people in there that are way more experienced than I am, and I'm hoping to learn from them instead of trying to figure it out by myself. I know it's going to take a long time to get good at this, but honestly, that's part of why I'm doing it. This channel isn't about pretending to be a professional driver. It's about documenting what it actually looks like for an everyday guy to start from zero and slowly build the skills needed to drift a real car one day. If you're learning alongside me, let me know down in the comments what's been the hardest part for you. And if you've got tips for a beginner, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for following the journey, and I'll see you guys in the next practice session. Noise.